friends? It's Super Tuesday inside Coleman Coliseum. And the matchup, the Crimson Tide of Alabama at home against Wayne Chisholm and the 8th-ranked team in the land, the Volunteers of Tennessee. They go on the road against an Alabama team led by Mykel Torrence and looking for their first SEC home win of the year. It's the SEC on ESPN. And it's all a part of Super Tuesday presented by KFC. And our matchup, the Crimson Tide of Alabama, 11-6 against the 8th-ranked Tennessee Volunteers, who are 14-2 and riding a 6-game winning streak, their longest in a couple years. Welcome, everybody. Brad Nessler along with Jimmy Dykes. Janine Edwards will join us shortly. Janine's going to talk about the Tennessee team that's been shorthanded over the course of the last 3 weeks due to some legal issues. Bruce Pearl has dealt with those, Jimmy. He's dealt with them very well. They've come up with some huge wins, including a victory over #1 Kansas, and they're playing as good as anybody in the country right now.
He's done a great job of handling adversity, first of all, Bruce Pearl. Not only in the motivation, but the X's and O's and blending the team together and playing so hard. What I question about Tennessee, Brad, they've won 6 in a row, but 5 of them have been on their home floor. You and I both know there's rankings and there's reality this time of the year. If you are deserving of a top 10 ranking, you get it done on the road, and that's what Tennessee must do tonight.
And if you're deserving of being back in the lineup, that's a question, because these two guys for the first time in the last 4 games are back, Melvin Gowens and Cameron Tatum. Janine's got more on that and whether or not we'll see these guys tonight.
That's right, Brad. Cameron Tatum and Melvin Gowens officially returned to the team on Sunday, but they've technically only had 1 day of practice, as Sunday was a non-practice day. Yesterday, they did take to the floor as part of the scout team. Now, Coach Bruce Pearl told me that he does expect Tatum to get some minutes tonight. He said he'll be backing up Hobson, Prince, and McBee, and if anybody gets into foul trouble, Tatum will be in. Melvin Gowens, however, would be the 3rd point guard, so Pearl said he doesn't expect him to see action. Meanwhile, as you know, Brian Williams remains indefinitely suspended, and of course, Tyler Smith was dismissed from the team, and all 4 guys have a court date on January 29th. Brad?
All right, Janine, so chemistry has been a problem and an issue, but they've taken care of that. Wayne Chisholm's taken over the leadership of this team. Last 2 games, 19 points and 12 rebound average, coming off 26 points in the overtime win over Ole Miss. And Mykel Torrence, he is in the top 10 in 4 offensive categories in the SEC. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for Bruce Pearl and the Tennessee Volunteers. Bobby Mays, Scotty Hobson, J.P. Prince in the backcourt, and up front the aforementioned Wayne Chisholm with Ronaldo Woolridge. And for the home team, the Crimson
with a flagrant foul against Rodney Clark, so Mitchell gets the start. Scenario Hillman certainly will play, but Anthony Grant just sending a little bit of a message.
Mike Kitch, Ted Valentine, and Jim Burr, our officials, and we're underway on Super Tuesday from Tuscaloosa, home of the National Football Champions.
Tennessee has been so good defensively over the last 4 ball games with a shortened bench, holding opponents about 33% from the field.
On the baseline, trying to drop it off inside, and up and in by Tony Mitchell. He normally would not be a starter, but he's been some instant offense for them this year, averaging over 9 points a game. He's got the first 2 of the ball game. Prince trying to lob it inside to Chisholm. Tennessee turns it over. 3 for Brock. And Green had a hand on it, but Chisholm comes up with a loose ball. Pull up by Hobson. And Brock off the miss.
And Tennessee needs to be very careful at getting a fast-paced game in this ball game. Alabama's pure half-court offense, Brad, I don't think it's good enough to win. So they need a broken floor type situation. Put up points.
Here's Mitchell, had it knocked away from behind. It comes free to Brock. And on the baseline, shot in close, no good. Hobson. Ooh, nice rebound by Justin Knox.
It's true of the basketball. Torrance really progressed, maybe has improved as much as anyone in the league from that point guard spot.
Brock will try the other side for 3. Same result, but the tip in by Tony Mitchell. Tony Mitchell 4, Tennessee nothing.
You know, he gives them a little bit more size, too. Mitchell does in that starting lineup. Not a great rebounding team, Alabama, but Mitchell right now making them a little bit better first 2 minutes of this game.
Prince missed the jumper, and Mitchell clears the glass.
Every coach in the league will tell you, you get J.P. Prince settling for one-sided jump shots, you've done your job.
Green got his own miss and drew a foul. And Anthony Grant in his first year here in Tuscaloosa.
Brad, again, to emphasize that the coaching job that Bruce Pearl has done the last 4 ball games. When you lose 40% of your offense and minutes played, you're basically starting over from scratch on January the 1st. He had 4 days to prepare for that first ball game. And from the outside looking in, they have come together as a team. They've played harder. They've shared the basketball better. So he has taken a very difficult situation and turned it into a beautiful brand of basketball from these guys in orange uniforms.
Tony Mitchell keeps it alive for Alabama. 3 on the way, too strong, and Bobby Mays with the rebound. Mays all the way through traffic. Nobody there to help out behind him, but the ball's going to be out of bounds to Tennessee. So far, Tennessee 0 for 4 for Bruce Pearl.
Chisholm is the guy that you want to get involved. He's the leading scorer and conference player right now. Averages a double-double. Number 4 in the orange uniform. Needs to get a look against this zone. Be patient, plenty of time. There's a touch.
And Woolridge fouled by Anthony Brock. Ronaldo Woolridge will go to the free throw line.
Pearl today. He had the same thoughts of, we've been really courageous at home in front of 20,000 people. 4 straight games with a shortened bench. What did we pack in our travel gear and bring to Tuscaloosa? That's probably what's burning in his gut right now, wanting to get that question answered.
Wow. Got their first point, but trail by 4 here early. Nice give and go. Torrance gets it back, though. Comes to Michael Green. On the drive against Woolridge. Alabama, good ball movement. Hook shot won't go. Green got it back, though. He'll get another chance. Would have had a third, except Chisholm snatched the rebound away. And Bobby Mays walked with it.
Tennessee playing a little too fast. First 3 or 4 possessions right now. The numbers are there. Certainly you want to take advantage of it. But against Anthony Grant's team, I think you want to make sure you check their defense and see if they're going to break down if you're Tennessee before you bail them out with a quick look.
They feed it inside. Chisholm trying to defend down on Green, and he's going to pick up his first foul. He's 2 out of 3 from the line. Puts the lead back to 5. Chisholm, since the dismissal of Tyler Smith, has become the undisputed leader of this Tennessee team. And Tyler Smith, one of the 4 guys in the car with Cameron Tatum, Melvin Goins, and Brian Williams on New Year's when they were stopped. There was a marijuana possession charge that appears like it's going to go against Brian Williams, and 2 handguns found in the car that Tyler Smith is going to be charged with. Probably a misdemeanor firearm possession, but they're not quite sure on that. That's what the court date is coming up that Janine talked about earlier in the ballgame. So thus, Tyler Smith, who was the guy that kind of ran this team and everybody looked up to, he's not here anymore. So it's number 4, Wayne Chisholm, who they look for leadership from. And if he's got 2 fouls and has to come out pretty soon, there won't be a leader out there. JaMychal Green and Alabama just running it up right now on Tennessee in the early going.
And Brad, Tennessee went zone, and the reason why you go zone against Alabama, they're only knocking down 4 3-point shots per game, but they did not take away the rim cut inside the zone.
And fouling Skylar McBee on a 3-point shot will put him on the line for 3 when we come back. But so far early here on the campus of the University of Alabama at Tuscaloosa. Let's take you inside the play, Jimmy.
Well, don't ball watch if you're at Tennessee right now. This is Bobby Mays, and he's gonna ball watch Brad instead of recognizing what's behind him. In a zone, you don't ball watch, because if you ball watch, you're going to get burnt, and that's exactly what happened inside the Tennessee zone. There it is again. Mays, number 3, stares at the basketball, forgets about his area, and who's in his area can make a rim cut, and it cost Tennessee 2 points.
JaMychal Green, the early leader in scoring with 5. Bobby Mays on the Tennessee bench. Early foul trouble, though. Anthony Brock's got 2, and Wayne Chisholm for Tennessee also on the bench with 2.
But that's a bigger hit to Tennessee than it is to Alabama.
Absolutely.
Chisholm is your hoss inside.
Skylar McBee, a walk-on at the free throw line. He's a guy that has earned his playing time. Janine?
Brad, I was just observing the Tennessee huddle, and Bruce Pearl a little bit frustrated with his team's play right now. He's going back to man-to-man defense. He wants a little bit more perfection coverage of their ball screens, and this is exactly what Jimmy talked about in the open and what Pearl was afraid of. These young players on Alabama are being elevated by this home crowd, and it is affecting the play of Tennessee's young players.
Alabama's played very well in the opening 5 minutes. Lead by 4.
See right now Tennessee defensively, Brad, they're keeping Torrance on the right side of the floor. He is great as a left-handed driver, in Tennessee just icing him and freezing him on that side of the floor.
Davis for 3. Rattled out. Prince up high for the rebound. Woolridge pull-up triple. Nowhere near the basket. The good news is he got help underneath from Kenny Hall. And Hall missed, and Knox with another strong rebound.
Again, Tennessee fires up quick in transition. Watch Torrance again. This guy with the basketball is great at driving with his left. Look how they're playing him, forcing him to stay on that side of the floor.
Josh Bone couldn't overplay him any farther if he tried. Knox missed the tip in. And nice rebound by Woolridge, and it's knocked out of bounds. Now coming up on ESPN.
What was the last year you requested an announcer swap working with me at this point in time?
Yeah, I know. I do that weekly. Nobody listens to me.
Memo doesn't go through. On the road, can you throw it inside and score or get fouled? And they did.
Nice move by Kenny Hall. Up and under with the left hand off the weak side, and he's got 4 off the Tennessee bench. Tennessee gets about 29 points a game from their bench. Justin Knox, who didn't even score in the loss to Arkansas, not only has had some big rebounds, but he knocks down an outside jumper.
Let's see if Tennessee is patient and turn this basketball over. See if Alabama will break down on the interior.
McPhee's going to lob it down low. Pretty good entry pass. The one back out to Prince was not. Volunteer turnover, and back comes Alabama. And they're going to get it right back as Davis lost the handle. Alabama started the year really taking care of the basketball, and Anthony Grant was telling all of us today the last 2 or 3 games that's been slipping a little bit, but still they only average about 12 turnovers a game.
Brett, I think Anthony Grant, when he took over, he inherited an undersized and an underskilled team. And that combination tells you their margin for error is not great this year.
6 on the shot clock. Prince on the drive, the kick out. McPhee. The outside jumper goes just inside the 3-point line.
With great recognition of McPhee to realize his shot clock was ticking down, but he still kept his composure. Had time to turn down a difficult shot to hit a pretty high percentage one.
I might have said McPhee. Skylar McBee, the walkout, who's got 4 points.
We've got McBee, we've got McPhee in this league. They're also known as McThree.
We have a McThree at Georgia, a McPhee and a McThree. Prince with a left hand. Whoa, Tony Mitchell sent that one to the second. A rejection out of bounds. Mikael Torrance, how do you slow down a guy that's in the top 10 in 4 different offensive categories? We'll talk about that when we come back. Alabama by 2. No comparison, right, as far as the height they have to work with. Kentucky now the only undefeated team in Division I college basketball. Inside, missed by Kenny Hall, who was in too deep. Here's Torrance around a pick this time, but they pick him up on the switch off.
Not only are they forcing Torrance to go right, they have a very good job of shadow defenders in the lane.
Green. Hall with a rebound. Hall's done a nice job off the Tennessee bench.
Well, Alabama doesn't shoot the ball well, and they only get 28% of their misses in conference play. So if your first shot defense is good tonight for Tennessee, you've got a good chance to throw up a good defensive number in this game.
So far, Tennessee doing a pretty good job without Wayne Chisholm out there, but they turn it over there. Their fourth of the game. Kind of wonder if Bruce Pearl's going to wait a long time or even bring Wayne Chisholm back in this half. And we still have more than 10 minutes remaining, almost 11 remaining in the first half. College hoops coming up on Saturday. John shot by State Farm. You see Wayne Chisholm standing in front of the Tennessee bench, trying to stay involved, but only as a cheerleader right now. Nice drive on the baseline and a whistle and a foul. Alabama did not hear the whistle, apparently, but it's going to send Tennessee to the free throw line.
Right, looking at Clemson really put it on North Carolina, but this is a Duke team with all those guards. I'm anxious to see how that press will hold up. I think it's also
is Tennessee's leading scorer. That's his first point. He can tie the game here, and does. First tie of the ball game at 11 after Alabama had run out to a 6-point lead. Ben Eblin in for Alabama. He's got the ball in hand right now. Both teams have gone about as deep out of their bench as they're going to go. Stephen Pearl's in as well, the coach's son for Tennessee.
Red Tennessee's only played about 13 possessions of zone coming into this ball game, and now they go at it again. I think the reason why Mikal Torrance not on the floor, they're not a great three-point shooting club.
Hillman losing the handle and now stuck in the corner, but he got it to Hines just in time for that shot. That's just how you draw it up. Get it to Chris Hines, who scores 3 points a game in that spot with 2 seconds left on the shot clock.
And Alabama is not a fluid offensive club, so they're going to have some broken play ability in this ball game. Guys just picking up a 50-50 ball, making a scoring play at the rim.
Pearl on the baseline has it knocked away. Tennessee turns it over again. And a whistle and a foul inside. It's going to be on Hines.
As a head coach, when your defense has done a good job to take stuff away, and then you get stuck at the end of the shot clock by a busted play.
Anthony Grant immediately gets Tony Mitchell back in and gets Hines out of there as Hines picked up 2 quick fouls off the bench. Hobson going to take it all the way. That was authoritative for Scotty Hobson. He made his mind up at the top of the key, and now Tennessee can lead for the first time if they score there, but they don't. And no foul called on JaMychal Green on J.P. Prince drive, and now it's 5-on-4 on the other end. Rebound, Kenny Hall again. Bobby Mays gets it back from Prince. And missed the jumper. I think we're going to have a foul on Kenny Hall trying to battle for the board.
If you don't choke off his water out the three-point line, he's going to attack that rim. And Alabama that time just not doing a good job at all with shadow defenders. I think that's a good block and a great hustle play. And a big ticker shown that time by JaMychal Green.
JaMychal Green's 4th in the SEC. A dandy after you get another look at it. And they're going 30 miles an hour. It looked like a foul, but it looked like all ball on that one. Nice feed inside, and Green finishes up. Alabama by 2, approaching the 8-minute mark in the first half. Mays double team, trying to get it to Pearl, and Tennessee almost turns it over.
Well, calm down right now. If you're Bobby Mays, calm down. The crowd's into it a little bit. What do you do on the road in this situation? You try to go inside and score or get fouled.
Nice lay-in by Scotty Hobson, who's found the lane to be friendly territory the last couple of trips. Remember Tennessee, their leading scorer, top player, or one of their leading scorers, I should say, and Wayne Chisholm on the bench with 2 fouls.
If you delete the drive of Alabama in their half-court offense, they can get very stagnant. That's what's happened on this possession.
Here's Torrance with the left hand trying to feed it inside, and he throws it away momentarily, and now shot clock violation, so it will, in essence, be a turnover. Jamichael Green's led the way for Alabama so far. 7 points on the night. All right, Reese, in the college basketball news and notes, Jim Calhoun lost last night to Kansas State in Manhattan. Boy, did the crowd get into that one last night. Or the Wildcats win over the #1 Longhorns. They won't be #1 anymore. That means Kentucky, if they take care of business this weekend, will be the top team of the land next week.
Good win for Kansas State, but this time of the year it's so easy to get hot or cold on a team. The first couple of games of conference play. Remember last year North Carolina started 0-2 in the ACC and won the national championship. So you got to take everything right now and just kind of factor in that it's early. K-State, they won a nice game at home. See how it plays out for those guys on the road.
After Bobby Mays missed 3, Alabama's got it back with a chance to lead again. We've had 3 ties. Alabama has led throughout. Tennessee has never been in front. Here's Hines running out of real estate. He'll have to give it up with 10 on the shot clock. Torrance trying to get to that left side. There he goes on the drive. And he walked with it.
Well, Tennessee doing a great job continuing to ice Mikal Torrance to the right side of the floor. He has really struggled to bring the ball left, and when he does, look at the orange jerseys. He has to fight to get on this side of the floor, and then look at the orange jerseys swallow him up with 2, 3, and 4 shadow defenders.
Bobby Mays gives it off to Hobson, who's led the way for Tennessee. Under 6 minutes to play in a half.
Brad, it's not been a clean half at all. Both clubs have as many turnovers as they have made baskets.
Right. 7 on the shot clock. Hobson has a look up. Mays, he'll try it on a long-range jumper. Let's see. I think they're going to have to take a look at whether that was a 2 or 3. Mike Kitts looked at Jim Burr. I looked at both, and I'm going 3 or 2, and so we're going to find out. At any rate, he hit the outside jumper before the shot clock expired. And now we get another look. There's Mays. And it looks like his foot is on the line.
That's a 2.
That's going to be Tennessee's first lead, no matter how you slice it.
Bobby Mays has played great basketball the last 4 ball games. Without Tyler Smith on the floor, how has it affected this guy, Bobby Mays? Well, he has the basketball in his hands now a lot as that lead guard. Tyler Smith kind of got the ball at times stuck in his hands, which got the offense stuck. Mays much more fluid and confident right now without Tyler Smith.
See Bobby's numbers over the last 4 games. Big 2-pointer to give Tennessee its first lead of the night here in Tuscaloosa. As we're under 5.5 minutes. It looks like Wayne Chisholm, other than standing as a cheerleader, might sit out the majority of this half. Pearl defensively almost came up with a steal, and now Alabama turns it over on their own. We check in with Janine.
Well, Brad, the Alabama football team won its on that day in that game. What stands out to you?
Just the atmosphere, all the cameras flashing when you came out, the fireworks, and just, you know, how many Bama fans travel that far to come see us play.
You're a senior. You played under Coach Nick Saban. What will you take away from your years playing with him?
I think just a lot of things that I can't even name because there's so many. Just, you know, the life skills that he's taught us, be on time, do the little things right. And I think it's most important because we got something out of it, which was a national championship. We learned that, you know, we do the little things, decisions, and stay away from, you know, bad things, basically, such as what happened.
Well, congratulations on all your success on the football team. And Javier is here to cheer on his good
Cover corners in college football, one of the great punt returners in college football, and he will be a high draft choice in the National Football League. You think about Alabama, though, you lose Rolando McClain, the Butkus winner, Javier Arenas, one of the Thorpe finalists. You got Mount Cody at 355 pounds in the middle. There's some things that have to be replaced on the Alabama defense if they're to come back and repeat as national champions. But you can bet that Nick Saban's already working on all of that.
What, he took 4 hours off to go watch a movie with his wife?
Well, 2 hours and 40 minutes. Avatar is about 2:40. Shut his phone off for that long. But he was working on the plane coming back from the national championships, and folks told me not only on just recruiting, but on this coming season.
So even when he takes time off,
he doesn't really take time.
He's still watching film.
Yeah, pretty much. 20-19, Alabama regains the lead on Charbez Davis three-pointer.
I'd go inside. I would test Alabama's inside defense before you fire up threes.
McBee missed a three. Mitchell with a rebound. So far, I think Tony Mitchell for Alabama and Kenny Hall for Tennessee have been very impressive off their respective benches in this close game that has 3.5 to go in the first half.
Fort Green needs a touch. He's being guarded by Stephen Pearl. Go to work.
And he gave it up, and he gave it up. Throws it away. 3:22 remaining in the first half. Alabama at home leading number 8 Tennessee by 1. All right, Reese, we're back in your old stomping grounds here at Tuscaloosa, where Alabama leads by 1 with 3:22 remaining in the first half. Wayne Chisholm's been out of this game for about 11.5 minutes, has not scored. He officially went out at the 16:09 mark, and Mikhail Torrance has not scored either. That was our Star Watch, by the way, folks. And no, I didn't pick the Star Watch tonight. Normally I do.
Chisholm not scoring because of fouls. Torrance not scoring because they're taking away his left hand.
I think Janine picked the Star Watch tonight, didn't she?
She did.
Yeah. 3 minutes remaining in the half.
You know what? In the absence of Chisholm, Kenny Hall has been ready to play, though, off the bench. 5 points, or 4 points, 5 rebounds.
Prince up and under. Had a nice drive on the baseline. Came up short. Talked about Kentucky being the only
Side. We'll go back to that graphic. The back end of their SEC conference schedule is where Kentucky is really going to be tested. 4 or 5 on the road, but they have I think they have a very good shot now to go deep into February and still have a 0 in the loss column.
You're going to see a lot of those games on ESPN, as you probably saw. Nice job by Justin Knox. Chance for a
play as the #1 team in the nation. A lot of pressure on a young team to continue to perform.
8-2 Alabama run to stretch their lead back to 4. We saw that Kentucky squad. Our ESPN family networks have majority of those games for you if you're a Kentucky fan or just a college basketball fan in general. Special night of college basketball tomorrow.
We haven't said that in a long time.
Got pounded by Clemson. They lost at home to Georgia Tech. Things are slipping a little bit. And Roy Williams had said today, this is a new deal for me and my team. I like the pressure when we're doing well and we're #1 in the country and we're in the national championships. But when things start slipping, that changes the whole perspective of things a little bit. And obviously it does. And he's not used to losing, nor are those North Carolina teams. Green. Pretty nice up and under. He just didn't finish. And Kenny Hall, another rebound. Kenny Hall might have 10 rebounds by halftime the way he's playing off the Tennessee bench. Hobson, 3. Got it. Perfect shot. You can tell from here. Kenny Hobson's in double figures for Tennessee.
Very similar to the play that Kansas ran late in the national championship game against Memphis. Drive the ball at a shooter on the wing and let him drift up from behind. Tennessee did it in the half court when Kansas did it a couple of years ago in transition.
Alabama led at halftime against both Arkansas and Vanderbilt. Right now they've got a 1-point lead with 1:10 to go. Of course, they didn't hold on to either one of those leads in the second half. We'll see if they have the halftime advantage and if they can hold on against the 8th-ranked team in the land as we go the next 60 seconds. Left hand. Good move if you're playing horse. I'm not sure it's a great move and a great shot when you got 4 of the guys out there with you. A lot of clangs on the rim tonight. Green finally scores.
Hobson took a shot to the chop, Brad, on that's what Bruce Pearl was without. Smith and Tatum, Goins, Williams, 40% of the offense and minutes played. And you look at any team in the country. Let's look at Kentucky right now. You take away 40% of their offense.
Wow.
That would be without Patterson, Bledsoe, Orton, Harris. Major guys, major producers, major minutes. And how about the Kansas Jayhawks? Two pretty good players, Xavier Henry and Cole Aldrich, Reed, Morningstar, all valuable guys. And that's what Bruce Pearl had to maneuver through a very difficult stretch. 40% of his offensive minutes were lacking, and plug that into other teams, and it puts into perspective what Bruce Pearl did.
It was 32 points, 15 rebounds, and 8 assists average per game from those 4 guys. And Jimmy put it in great perspective when you put those other teams involved in there. We're down, final 20 seconds. Tennessee trails by 3 on the road. Alabama trying to win its first conference home game. And McBee is swarmed under and fouled by Scenario Hillman.
Well, you have to have an understanding of the shot clock defensively as well. When that thing starts ticking down, there's a fine line between cranking up your heat and not stepping over the line and fouling, and Alabama just stepped over the line.
Only 5 team fouls, so they still got another one to give if they choose to in the final 7 seconds here. Prince got it down low, and it's rejected. Again underneath, but the follow finally goes through for Kenny Hall, who's been a star off the bench for Tennessee to keep him in the ball game.
Kenny Hall did not get his dauber down in the last 3 or 4 weeks, really, especially in the last 4 ball games. This guy has come in off the bench and has produced. You talk about his toughness around the rim. Watch him right here just go up and bam, over the top of you.
We saw his defensive rebounds. That offensive rebound led to a slam as we go to Janine.
Well, Brad and Jimmy, as you know, Bruce Pearl told us before the game that one of the keys would be how can this team handle adversity, i.e. playing on the road. Are they passing the test so far?
Well, and Wayne Chisholm picks up 2 fouls in 2 minutes. So, you know, yeah, we survived. It was ugly, you know, but the kids, you know, hung in there. You know, I think Alabama had an opportunity to take control of this game, you know, because we were in such foul trouble. But, you know, we're all right. We're playing pretty good defensively. We're battling. Offensively, it's a struggle for both teams.
It's that way. We'll see you second half, Coach. Thanks.
Definitely not pretty, but close on Super Tuesday. Alabama 25, Tennessee 24. Time to send it to the UPS halftime report. Reese and Steven standing by, fellas.
All right, Brad, Stephen Barno, the former Flying Illini great, is alongside. Glad to have you with us. Alabama and Tennessee, this guy said not pretty, but it is close at halftime. Second half, not too far away. Story of the day in college basketball, UConn head coach Jim Calhoun is taking a medical leave of absence effective immediately. This is a result of a regularly scheduled doctor's appointment that Calhoun had early on Tuesday. The doctor informed him during that visit that he should take the
This halftime report is delivered by UPS. Seize new opportunities at ups.com/whiteboard.
ESPN Wednesday.
It's the SEC on ESPN from Coleman Coliseum at Tuscaloosa, Alabama. All part of Super Tuesday, presented by KFC. And at halftime, Alabama at home leading 25-24. As we update our Star Watch, 2 guys that we expected to shine tonight, they haven't. This is kind of a bland constellation of Star Watch. Wayne Chisholm only played about 4 minutes, didn't score. Mikal Torrance, leading scorer at 16 a game, and he hasn't scored for Alabama. You know, they gave these things out tonight. It's supposed to be part of Swagger Night here in Tuscaloosa. Could somebody please start to swagger? Jimmy?
Both teams are shooting like they have glasses on like that.
Maybe
First
that's
of
the
all,
problem.
My goodness, make a shot, why don't you? Both teams shooting 33, 34%. Stay with that look, by the way. Your
look.
career just went to another level.
I know that.
Defensively, I think the teams are playing hard, and Tennessee's done a good job, Brad, of taking away Mikal Torrance's left-hand drive. But, you know, the test for Tennessee, can you win ball games when you don't play your best and you're on the road? And that's exactly the formula they have to figure out in the next 20 minutes.
Wayne Chisholm will throw it in to start the second half. And Tennessee leads the SEC in assists. They had 1 assist in the first half. They average almost 17. Here we go. 8th-ranked team in the country. Bruce Pearl told us today, I don't know that we're the 8th best team in the country. So far, they haven't played like it. We'll see if they do in the second half.
But you know what? The entire poll is kind of a guess right now.
Yeah.
Kansas State knocks off the #1 ranked Texas Longhorns. I think Rick Barnes will be the first to tell you that they're not the best team in the country right now. They certainly have the potential. I like teams that get jabbed in the nose and they bounce back. And we'll see what Texas does. Kansas responded pretty well from their one loss of the season.
Nice drive. Mitchell missed, but Torrance didn't. Jermichael Green didn't.
For the 11th offensive rebound for Alabama in this game. And again, they come in only getting 28% of their misses in conference play. So they're paying attention to the boards right now.
You know that Anthony Grant, that locker room, said, guys, we had leads against Vanderbilt and Arkansas at halftime. Let's not let this one slip away, even though it was only a 1-point advantage. Nice drive by J.P. Prince. That's his first field goal.
And Brad, they had a big lead over Purdue in this building before Christmas. I did the ball game, a 16-point lead. Purdue came back and showed a lot of grit and determination to win it.
Purdue is a common opponent. They beat both these teams. And now Purdue trying to get off their own little skid. Sure. That's coming up following us. Knox almost airmailed it to the backside. Chisholm just rolled it to Bobby Mays. Mays, nice crossover dribble up high off the glass, hoping for help, I think. And he got it from the guy that I think's been the star of the game for Tennessee, Kenny Hall. Had a career-high 7 rebounds off the bench just in the first half alone, and now he's got 8 points.
And look at him again, really forcing Torrance to do something off that right hand, and that's as good a job as Tennessee has done so far in this game of doing it.
Mays, the lob, too high for Hobson, and he had it rejected by Justin Knox. Torrance will pull it back out as Tennessee's got a 1-point lead. Got a whistle and a foul on the baseline away from the ball.
It's fractured offensively. You have turnovers, you have fouls, you have missed shots. And it's almost like which team can hang in there and just get one of those 6-8-0 runs is going to be the difference in this game. It's a mental toughness game right now as much as a physical test.
Nice lob inside of Kenny Hall. And Hall's got 10, and he's working on a double-double, the freshman out of Stone Mountain, Georgia.
Brad, Tennessee's better inside defensively and offensively with Hall on the floor as opposed to a 6'7" Tyler Smith. They have gained length. They lose a ball handler, but they've gained size.
Alabama turns it over, and Tennessee gave it right back by either palming it or stepping on the baseline on J.P. Prince. There's the hustle by J.P., but his foot slipped out of bounds, I guess, before he was able to scoop that thing up.
You know, I was at practice last Tuesday interviewing Bruce Pearl, and I watched them practice for about 90 minutes, close to 2 hours. And boy, time and time again, Wayne Chisholm would gather the guys around him and talk exactly about what Bruce Pearl was talking about in practice. Then J.P. Prince would step up. Those two guys have really solidified this Tennessee team in the middle turmoil.
Tillman, and possession arrow is going to stay with Alabama as he was tied up underneath. Grant decided, as a little bit of a disciplinary measure, to not start him tonight. Two on the shot clock as Brock missed the 3, kept alive though. And Jim Burr and Ted Valentine look at each other to make the call. They're going to have a push underneath.
Ready to look at Anthony Grant, his first year as the head coach at Alabama. And it is a process, and making progress in that process is his goal right now. All the terminology has changed, all the accountability and the work ethic. He has taken this program and set higher goals than they've had. And it's just a matter of guys buying in, and I've seen them develop in that area over the last 3 months.
Chris Hines just took it across the lane and threw it down for his 4th point. And we're back to a 1-point Tennessee lead. Chavez Davis in the lineup for Tennessee. Chisholm, nice no-look pass down to Prince. They move it around the perimeter. It's Hobson for three, and he got it. And a chance for a 4-point play. First big shot of the night for Tennessee. Brock made a run at Hobson. He'll send him to the free throw line with a chance to make it a 4-point possession.
Brad, it's difficult to throw a zone defense at Tennessee because Bone is a shooter and Hobson, they're both shooters. And Hobson has some size. And Brock, only 5'9", got caught in that same alley that Hobson was lined up in and had to challenge late. Hobson made him pay.
Hobson with 2 3-pointers. Doesn't convert on the 4-point play attempt. He does have 14 points, though. That leads Tennessee, and they're up by 4, which matches their biggest advantage of the first half.
And now Bone is assigned to Mikal Torrance.
We did a heck of a job against Chris Warren over the weekend.
That's why he's getting extended minutes right now as a walk-on.
Outside jumper goes this time for Green. DeMichael's got 13. Well, team's warming up just a little bit here in the opening 4 minutes of the second half. Thank goodness.
Now Tennessee with 3 shooters on the floor against this zone. So Alabama better be quick to recover on the perimeter.
Thompson fouled on his move to the baseline. So Tennessee's recovered from being down by 1 at halftime. With 15:32 to go, they're up by 2 now.
Winter X Games 14.
Alabama's leading scorer still without any points. Mikal Torrance averaging 16 points a game. As we take a look at managing the game, brought to you by Edward Jones. Jimmy's going to tell you why.
Well, Tennessee's managing their defense. The orange dot is the defender. And anytime Torrance is on the right side of the floor, they are taking away his left hand, forcing him to do something with his right. In the second half, look at Bobby Mays right here doing a good job of making sure that the offensive player is going to stay on that side of the floor. And look at Torrance. Cannot go left, forcing him right. Can you drive the ball and make a play? He tries, the shot's not there, and that's why Mikal Torrance, the leading scorer, has been taken out of this game.
Tennessee missed on the inbounds play. Wayne Chisholm still scoreless as well. Never in the history of Super Tuesday on ESPN has our Star Watch players both gone scoreless. I don't think it's going to happen tonight either, but just thought I'd bring it up with 15 minutes to play.
We might need to start building that graphic.
Hobson missed a 3. Winning.
Well, Brad, Anthony Grant in that last timeout was telling his guys, look, you're not playing with the same energy I saw you play with in the first half. And Jimmy, as you had mentioned, they tend to have these late game lapses. Coach Grant told me at half, are lacking in energy right now. That's his concern in that last timeout.
They just turned it over for the 11th time to give Tennessee the basketball back with a 2-point lead.
Well, Brad, Alabama doesn't have a star, so they have to get it done in the team concept. And they absolutely have to play harder than the opponent every time.
Offensively, that is. Chisholm, nice look by Wayne Chisholm, who got it right back to Woolridge, and he throws it down.
One of Tennessee's favorite out-of-bounds plays is to let Chisholm go from the weak side and just let him run to the front of the rim. And boy, you talk about falling asleep, Alabama.
He just volleyballed it right back to Ronaldo Woolridge. His first field goal and a chance for a 3-point play. Doesn't connect on the free throw, but again, Tennessee matches its biggest lead.
Alabama has not had a counter in their half-court offense. After you take away the drives of Hillman and Torrance, I'm not sure Alabama knows what they want to do.
Foul push from the back, a holding call
Out of the SEC and that USA Today polled top 25. Mississippi State and Vanderbilt now in 30 out of this league.
Torrance trying to get the ball in, and he's going to have to call a timeout. Nice job defensively by Chisholm down there on the baseline. Alabama's got to call a timeout with 14:10 remaining in the ball game. Northwestern can't handle prosperity, huh, Reese?
Boy.
Here it's Tennessee by 4 over Alabama, 14:10 to go. And Wayne Chisholm, who forced a timeout with his defensive play right before that inbounds play, comes up with a steal.
Tennessee is the best in the country at scouting and taking away your out-of-bounds plays underneath. Before the timeout, first of all, this camera guy right here, if I'm Alabama, I say he's got to move back and let this guy move back as well. The second part, look at this wingspan of Chisholm taking up so much vision. But just some small things in this game that you have to do, and if you don't, Tennessee's going to make you pay. But, Brad, the passer is responsible. He can move his back as far as he wants. So you got to tell that camera guy, excuse me, slide over. I need some more space here and get some better vision.
Well, Wade Chisholm may not have scored for Tennessee tonight, but those two plays, two great defensive plays. First, it forced Alabama to waste a timeout. And then secondly, he jumped up and stole the ball, basically, and got it to his teammates. They take it down and turn it into 2 free throws. And now the Volunteers have their biggest lead of the night.
And Tennessee will crowd that baseline and put their toes on that line until the official tells them to back away. And they are awfully crafty at doing it.
Davis gets it down low to Hines. Somebody for Alabama is going to have to find a way to score. Tony Mitchell, maybe. He's done a nice job off the bench. He's maybe not going to get a handle here on this trip, though. And now Chisholm got to watch himself. Pretty vocal first half because of having 2 quick fouls. Now he's got his 3rd one at 13.5 to go.
Again, Tennessee forces a long high school pass from the out of baseline.
Nice crossover drill by Torrance. Davis couldn't get his shot away. Nice defense by Bone. Hillman, there's a prayer. Almost was answered, but Chisholm will clear off the miss. Woolridge gives it up to McBee. He got hammered as he shot the 3 by Tony Mitchell. Mitchell tried to pull up, but he knocked McBee down, and he's going to the free throw line for the 2nd time tonight for 3 foul shots. He hit 2 of 3 the first time.
McBee's only 6'1", and there's no reason to fly out of control at McBee. You know, he's only going to take good looks. So if McBee cranks one up, that tells you as a defender, I'm not there in time anyways, and don't compound your mistake. Again, part of being tough in basketball is don't let one mistake become 2. And Alabama's had back-to-back plays where they've had that happen to them in this game, fouling 3-point shooters.
Both teams going to their bench. Meanwhile, Skylar McBee, a freshman walk-on who wasn't expected to see a lot of action this year, had offers from other schools, but from Rutledge, Tennessee, he's always wanted to be a Volunteer. Here he is. He's got 6 points in the 3rd SEC game of the year. He's living the dream right now. And he knocked down all 3.
Guys, you just saw Skylar McBee doing what he does very well, and that's make free throws. Coming into tonight's game, he had made 15 of his 16 attempts. He spent the offseason shooting with former Tennessee star Chris Lofton. Obviously got some great advice.
When you shoot with Chris Lofton, you're going to get better no matter what happens, I guess. That is a good guy to spend some time with. Alabama turns it over. And this thing is slipping away, much like their games against Arkansas and Vanderbilt. In a 2nd half swoon now, a scoring drought. Anthony Grant talked with us about that today. Now they're down 9, which is the biggest advantage by either team. And Tennessee's got the ball at 12.5 to play. Lob underneath. Hall missed in close somehow. And then he compounded the problem by picking up the personal. Wednesday night, ESPN's got a special. Davis rattled one out, but what a follow by Tony Mitchell. I mentioned a little while ago, maybe he'd be the answer. Somebody's got to start to score, and he can. Mays, that shot was partially blocked, and it still went in. That was not a good shot by Mitchell, not like the previous one. Mays ahead to Woolridge. Sloppy on both ends right now as both teams just turning it over.
Alabama's half-court offense, Brad, is not good enough to come back and win this game. They need transition points. They need broken plays. They need to get on the offensive glass.
Now J.P. Prince. I don't know if that's going to be Hall or Prince. I'm not sure if Hall touched it. Great job of hustling down court by Kenny Hall, who's had a huge night. No matter how you slice it, it's an 11-point lead for Tennessee. Biggest advantage of the night for the 8th-ranked Volunteers.
This little piggy can carry 1,470 pounds.
After the Alabama timeout, Tennessee by 11 with just over 11 to go.
And Tennessee out of the timeout. They're going to go man-to-man, but they can almost play it like a zone. Alabama cannot make three-point shots, so look at all the orange jerseys inside the three-point part of the floor. That's why Alabama can't drive that ball with success.
And a foul on Tennessee. It's going to be on Kenny Hall, who's been sensational tonight off the bench.
Ready to unthink the...
Georgia Tech, if they hold on to beat Clemson, that would surpass their ACC victory total from a year ago. Here it's Tennessee 2-0 in conference play. Alabama 1-2. Alabama looking for its first home conference win of the year, but they're down 11 with just under 11 to play. Nice entry pass, and the up and under goes for Chris Hines. Nice move. 9 of 17 on the year before another miss, so now he's at 50%. Doesn't cap off the three-point play. They can't set up their press that Jimmy's talking about. And Tennessee by 9.
That's more than just 1 point you've given away. You've given up an opportunity.
Bobby Mays stays in midair after Woolridge missed. Hangs in the air, and he's got 6.
Well, how well has Tennessee absorbed the scouting report on Mikal Torrence, their leading scorer? Not scored in this ball game because they continue to keep him on the right side of the floor. He cannot turn the corner going left.
You saw Mays turning back in again. Herded him, if you will, to the other side. Hines just inside the three-point line. And Chris Hines, who averages 3 points a game, has got 8.
And now here comes the press that you anticipated from Alabama. This is the only chance they have to get back in it, partner.
And they almost got it. Hines almost came up with a steal. Trying to rattle Mays, but Mays with a kick out to McBee. And he wisely pulls it back out on top. Under 10 minutes now. 8th ranked Tennessee 46. Upset-minded Alabama 38.
But just by Alabama pressing, drove energy into this building.
6 on the shot clock. Mays puts the brakes on, takes the turnaround jumper. Alabama's got the rebound. Chance to cut it back to 6. Nice look by Torrance. Knox might have gotten away with a walk. As it is, has his shot blocked by Kenny Hall. Oh, Kenny Hall has been all over the place tonight off that Tennessee bench. Double figures in scoring, career high in rebounds. He just blocked that last shot, and he's got a double-double. 12 points and 10 boards. His first career double-double. He's a freshman. Under 9 minutes now. 10 on the shot clock. Hobson trying to get it back to Hall, and he threw it away. College hoops coming up on Saturday. 16 in the country. Clemson's got their hands full right now with Georgia Tech. The last time Reese gave us an update, they were down 4.
A couple of guys in that game battling for ACC Player of the Year. Trevor Booker, John Shire. I believe the National Player of the Year right now. Certainly Evan Turner has vaulted back into that conversation with John Wall. Scotty Reynolds, I think, has to start getting some consideration as well.
Oh, he's played really well.
Yes, he has.
Baseline jumper. There's a big shot, finally. An intermediate shot, and it's Tony Mitchell again. Couple of freshmen, Tony Mitchell and Kenny Hall, having their best night so far for both these teams. Hobson knocked down a 3. His 3rd of the night. Big shot by Scotty Hobson. That quiets the crowd back.
But he really reworked his stroke in the offseason. Kind of shortened down the amount of arcs that he puts on it. He's a much more confident shooter now because of all the time he spent.
Knox backpedals, hits a jumper. Justin Knox knocks down a big shot with just under 8 minutes to go.
And really the press by Alabama has also loosened them up on the offensive end. Playing with a much more fluidness about it.
Pearl turns it over.
In the National Football League, Jim Calhoun will hand over the reins at UConn, taking a medical leave of absence effective immediately. They're saying there are temporary medical issues causing this, Brett.
Boy, when the building got a lot of energy, Tennessee had an answer. Hobson, first of all, with a confident shot from the corner. Then the next possession down, Tennessee gets a mismatch inside. Chisholm being defended by Mikal Torrance. They throw the ball inside, which you have to be able to do, Brad, when you're trying to win a conference championship on the road. Silence the crowd by throwing that dude inside and making him pay.
Now Chisholm can make it a three-point play, and he has been so hot from the free throw line. 84% free throw shooter. He hit 10 straight in the overtime win over Ole Miss, including 6 in a row in overtime. So even though he rattled that one around, that's the first 3 points for Wayne Chisholm. And we got 7 minutes to play in Tuscaloosa. 52-44.
Tennessee right now, you don't want to foul because Alabama continues to struggle to get to the line. They've only taken 6 free throws in this game. That's been haunting them in conference play.
Davis, long three, got it. His second of the night. Chavez Davis keeps Alabama's hopes alive. Oh, almost an over and back by J.P. Prince. That's what the folks here at Coleman wanted. Called. Leads down to 5.
They wanted it, but both feet and the basketball have to go across the timeline, and not all 3 have went across. I throw it back inside again.
Chisholm's asking for it. There it is, as Jimmy called it. And there's the score.
There is a Prince. 1 foot goes over, but it can come back. Both feet and the basketball have to advance across that timeline in order for the backcourt violation to then come into play.
So now the inbounds play for Alabama has been something that's been a little bit tough, although Chisholm's not going to be the guy playing the ball.
There's still a pretty good wingspan. As long as they make you throw a high arcing pass, you've taken away their scoring ability.
Dale Torrance only 1 field goal. He's got it at the top of the circle with 6 on the shot clock. Has to give it up to Brock. Back to Torrance. A 3. Rimmed out. Kept alive, though, by the smallest guy on the floor, Anthony Brock. Fresh shot clock. 5.5 to play. 8th-ranked Tennessee leading by 7. Davis being hounded by Hobson. He's trying to call timeout and got it called. With 5:18 remaining, and now Alabama's only got 1 timeout remaining. So Bruce Pearl with 5:18 to go. His team clinging to a 7-point lead, trying to win his 7th straight game and his 5th straight without some of his key personnel, including Tyler Smith, who was kicked off the team for his transgressions, along with Cameron Tatum and Melvin Goins and Brian Williams. And we talked with Bruce. I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, you know, he suspended those guys and kicked 1 guy off the team.
I felt like they paid a real heavy price. It was time for them to come back.
Of course, Tyler Smith paid the biggest price. He, along with Williams and Goins and Tatum, arrested on weapons, another charge. The other 2 guys reinstated and cleared to play tonight. That happened on Sunday.
With Goins and Tatum being reinstated to play tonight, common sense will tell you the gun charges, I think, will be attached to Tyler Smith. The marijuana possession will be attached to Brian Williams. Otherwise, these 2 guys wouldn't be back. And interesting to note, they have not played tonight. Bruce Pearl says they will have to earn their way back into this rotation.
They have practiced. He said there was nothing special made of it when they showed up in the locker room for the first time. There they are. And at that point,
teams extend leads.
Well, guys like Josh Bone and Kenny Hall, Scott's like they're going to hang on to go to 3-0. This is their first game away from Knoxville in the 2010 year, and their first SEC road game. They trailed at halftime, but they've got the advantage now, and Scenario Hillman with 2 free throws cuts the lead back to 5, though. All over Bobby Mays, 3 guys, but he got it free to Chisholm, and Chisholm to Hobson. Hobson almost threw it away, but it's kept alive by Prince. Nice ball movement by Tennessee to utilize some of the clock. 15 on the shot clock, 4.5 on the game clock. Look out for Wayne Chisholm if they get it to him. He can shoot the 3, too. Hobson's going to try one short. Rebound off to JaMychal Green. Alabama can make it a 3-point game if they can score.
Michael Green is their answer on the interior right now for Alabama, but can they get him the basketball?
Hillman. Pull-up 3 didn't go. And now it's Chisholm ahead of the pack. And scores.
There's a bad shot by Hillman. You're taking a guy that's a non-shooter from the perimeter Only 12 made threes on the year, and he fires one up before JaMychal Green even gets a touch in your half-court offense.
Here he is again. Hillman, that is. Guarded by Hobson. Lobs it underneath. There's a good catch. JaMychal Green's going to have it. All right, Dave, we'll get it to you and Lab and Aaron coming up in about 3.5 minutes. 56-51. But JaMychal Green, who's got his 11th career double-double, is going to the free throw line to try to cap a three-point play. He's got 15 points, 10 boards tonight. There's the reset. Alabama with just one timeout remaining. So JaMychal Green, 3 out of 4 for JaMychal tonight from the free throw line.
Alabama, they don't stunt on free throw misses. The films I've watched, they don't run a play, so if there is a miss, Tennessee should clean it up. Doesn't matter.
He cleaned it up himself.
He did.
Big three-point play. Down to 4. The lead was 11 in this half for Tennessee.
Zone defense by Alabama. You better tag 32 in orange. That's Hobson. Mays is tough enough to make shots. Prince is a driver on the perimeter.
And of course, Chisholm keeps running that baseline. And there he is. And he had it blocked underneath. Great job defensively by Alabama. 3 minutes left. They can cut it down to 2. Hillman picked up his dribble. And it'll be an offensive foul on JaMychal Green. Trying to get position down low.
A really good feat by Wayne Chisholm. Look at the footwork of Chisholm to step in front, establish position, and
saw Green kind of got that left arm draped over Chisholm's shoulder. Maybe more than anything trying to get his balance too. And in the meantime, took Chisholm to the floor. 2:30 to play. Hobson thought about it. Mays will take it. Kept alive. It hit the rim. Ted Valentine's going to hold things up. I'm pretty sure it hit the rim. The trajectory of the ball changed because I almost called it an air ball, and I think it hit the backside of the rim on the way through, which should be a fresh shot clock. But they're going to go to the monitor and have a look. Let's take a look at this.
Yeah, watch the far side.
Just kissed it, didn't it?
I think it did. I don't know if they saw the same replay we did, because the one from the opposite end, that ball changed. Wow.
They saw the exact same thing. It surprises me, too.
I disagree with it.
I do, too.
They saw it, but I disagree with it.
10 on the shot clock. Bobby Mays trying to go to work, and he almost had it stolen away. Got the ball back, pull up 15-footer, and he missed it, and Mitchell's got the rebound. And now we got 2 minutes to play in a 4-point game.
Alabama's only made 3 three-point shots in this game. They're only averaging 4. The strength of this club is off the drive or throwing it inside for a basket.
Torrance, not even close on the three-pointer, but who's going to get the ball? Tennessee. Don't forget, coming up next, second game of our Super Tuesday doubleheader, Purdue and Illinois. Right now, Tennessee trying to cling on to their 15th win in 17 games this year and trying to go to 3-0 in conference play.
Bruce Pearl has 4 timeouts still to burn. So if he doesn't like what he sees, he needs to call it and get his guys organized.
And he just did. Good call, Jimmy. With 25 on the shot clock and 1:35 on the game. Tennessee will be at Georgia. We saw Georgia be a scrappy team and have a big second half lead slip away from them in Starkville last weekend. Then Vanderbilt, their last 3 games, all wins have come over teams that beat them last year. And you always like to see that too if you're a head coach. Alabama is looking for their first home win of the SEC season, and this is what they've got coming up. Mississippi State undefeated in the West, 3-0, and LSU, then at Auburn in the Iron Bowl battle, if you will, of college basketball. Florida and Ole Miss.
First time in this game, Mikhail Torrance off of his right hand, gotten all the way to the rim. Tennessee's.
If he hits it, and he doesn't. Still a one-possession situation if you're an Alabama fan, but now Tennessee by 3. 1:14 to go.
Where do you think this ball should go, partner?
I'd get it to Wayne Chisholm.
Good call.
There it is. There it goes.
Good job, assistant coach.
Thank you, head coach. A minute to play. Torrance. Green working against Chisholm, trying to headbutt his way in there and can't get the shot to go, and J.P. Prince somehow came up with a loose ball.
Tennessee's 4 on 5. They need to understand Bruce might want to take another timeout.
Chisholm shaken up on the play somewhere on the defensive end. I'm not quite sure where, but he's still standing at midcourt.
For the value of a senior on the road in conference play. The game's on the line, and Chisholm just volunteered, toughed that ball into the basket on one end, then comes down and throws up a big orange wall to delete 2 points on the other. Boy, he's sealed. He shows a target hand, and watch. That's just a toughness play right there. There's no finesse involved. Yes, sirree. Pound that chest. That was a pound your chest moment by Wayne Chisholm.
I think he might have gotten pounded below the waist on the defensive end, and he's still trying to recover from that with 41 seconds to go. 5-point game. Still very much in doubt here. Tennessee now down to 2 timeouts remaining. Alabama still has 1.
Tennessee, one of those teams that can cause Kentucky problems in this league. I think Vanderbilt is the other team, Brad, that can cause Kentucky problems with all their size and experience. There's probably the shot you're talking about.
Defending as hard as he could. Took 3 pretty good body bumps from Green. And then sort of went down in the corner, still grimacing. But how about the second half, though?
Wheezy.
After sitting out, yeah, wheezy.
He's a little wheezy.
He is a little wheezy.
Yeah.
Everybody calls him Wheezy because of his asthma. And you hear that at practice and at the shoot-arounds. Everybody, hey, Wheeze, hey, Wheezy. So 5-point game.
May should be shooting 2, right? He got fouled in the double bonus.
And at the free throw line will be Bobby Mays, who's shooting 85% on the year. Hasn't been there yet tonight, though. Guess it doesn't matter. When you shoot 85%, you have the confidence to get up there and knock it down.
Look at that right there. Never wavers, man. Straight up, straight down. Yep. No lean forward, no lean backwards. A closeout guard.
Now time is of the essence for Alabama. We're down close to the half-minute mark, and they trail by 7. Again, they cut off Torrance. Brock trying to get loose. He was in too deep. Chisholm picks up the loose ball on the baseline, and they're forced to foul it. Now they walk it back the other way. And Wayne Chisholm, who didn't score until there was 7:13 remaining in this game, is about to go into double figures if he does what he's done so often this year, and that's hit his free throws. We talked about Mississippi State being the only team in the West to be undefeated in conference play at 3-0. And now Tennessee can join Vandy and Kentucky at 3-0, at least temporarily on this Super Tuesday if they can hang on. And Chisholm just keeps knocking down the free throws. Jimmy, he's always a pretty good free throw shooter. We've seen him shoot threes throughout his career, but he shot 72% last year. He's shooting 84% from the line.
More than anything he's done in terms of stats, he's averaging a double-double in conference play. Brad, his leadership again at practice last Tuesday just really jumped out at me several times, huddling guys up, talking about what we have to do better. And you can't say enough about what Wayne Chisholm has meant to this club.
Tony Mitchell's going to get more and more playing time for Alabama. I can guarantee you that. Knock down the three-pointer. They foul immediately with 12.6 seconds to go. You're right. We've seen Wayne Chisholm, earlier in his career, come to practice with a hat on, or maybe come to practice in slippers. All that stuff, as soon as Tyler Smith was kicked off, the team came to an end. It became Tennessee's team, Wayne Chisholm's team.
Every team has a leader. I hear coaches all the time. Now, he needs to make this. We're still at a 2-possession game. Every team has a leader. I hear coaches talk about, I don't have a leader. Well, you do. But unfortunately, they're either leading your guys in the right direction or the wrong direction. And Chisholm is now leading this group in the right direction.
And Bruce Pearl's doing a pretty good job of leading these Volunteers, the 8th-ranked team in the country. They certainly didn't look like it in the first half, but in the second half they have. And they're going to get a road win in the SEC, which isn't easy. Their first trip away from Knoxville in 2010 is successful. Tennessee holds on 63-56 is the final score. They go to 15-2 overall, 3-0 in the SEC. Alabama falls to 11-7, and they will also fall to 1-3 in conference play. Another disappointing second half for the Crimson Tide of Alabama, who had a 1-point lead at halftime and couldn't hold it.
And Brad, if you're going to win conference championships, you have to win on the road, and you also have to win 2 or 3 times on the road when you don't play your best. Tennessee gets one of those in their column tonight.
Yes, they do, and the winning coach is with Janine Edwards.
Coach, your team has now won 5 in a row since you lost 4 of your better players. How are your young guys getting it done?
Well, this was a tough place, a tough environment, but enough senior leadership from guys like, Wayne and JP. Scotty Hobson is starting to make big plays, giving the rest of our guys confidence. We've defended really well, and we rebounded really well, and we're a little bit more physical. And defense and rebounding win championships.
Alabama tried to control the tempo a little bit with their press. How did your guys respond to that?
I thought we attacked pressure pretty well. I don't think we turned it over too much. We didn't score as much out of the pressure as I would have liked to. But guys that have seen Tennessee basketball know this is not Tennessee basketball. We cannot run and we cannot press and we can't force tempo, but we can still win.
Congratulations. Yes, you did.
So they do it again tonight to make it 7 straight wins. Longest winning streak in 2 years for the Vols of Tennessee. They win it 63-56. That's going to wrap it up for us. For more on this game, you can join us on ESPN News shortly for a post-game extra. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For Jimmy Dykes, Janine Edwards, and our entire ESPN crew, Brad Nessler saying so long from Coleman Coliseum in Tuscaloosa. 63-56 as we send it to Reese Davis.
All right, Brad, glad to have you with us in the studio.